area, and it is also impacting the opposite direction. You want to make sure you give yourself extra time leaving if that's part of your commute. We've got 52 minutes leaving downtown through Mid-City to get to Santa Monica. Go ahead and allow yourself a little over half an hour just to pull away from the northbound 110, the 405 inbound. And here's a live Caltrans camera look. The 405, at least going southbound, or excuse me, northbound looks smooth. Southbound, a little bit of a struggle there. Jen, Bob.
All right, Samada, thank you. So we have some breaking news out of Washington. You're taking a live look right now at Capitol Hill. Lawmakers pressing the nation's immigration leaders on enforcement practices and accountability. The heads of ICE, Border Patrol, and U.S. Citizenship and Immigration are testifying before Congress just days before Homeland Security funds are set to expire. The hearing follows two deadly shootings in Minneapolis that sparked protests and national scrutiny. You can monitor this throughout the morning on the Fox local app.
The Trump administration may soon reverse an Obama-era scientific climate finding. The Wall Street Journal reporting that the administration is planning to reverse the 2009 endangerment finding, which says that 6 greenhouse gases pose a threat to public health and welfare. The repeal would remove federal greenhouse gas regulation emissions standards for vehicles, and it would not impact greenhouse gas regulation from sources like power plants as well as oil and gas facilities.
Back here locally, happening later on today, Metro will take questions about the East San Fernando Valley Light Rail Transit Project. Metro will present an overview of the project to connect transit services in the San Fernando Valley, including Metrolink, Amtrak, and the Metro G line. If you're interested in attending, the meeting is being held at the Alicia Broadus Duncan Multipurpose Senior Center in Pacoima. It starts at 6 p.m. The rail is expected to be up and ready to go by 2031.
California lawmakers take aim at sky-high concert ticket prices with a new bill that would cap what resellers can charge. A new proposal from State Assembly member Matt Haney from San Francisco would cap concert ticket resale prices at no more than 10% above face value. This is a move that supporters say could make concerts more affordable for fans. The bill would apply to concerts and live performances, but not to sporting events. It comes as state lawmakers also consider other measures to crack down on ticket sales as the debate continues over what's driving high prices in the ticketing market.
Yeah, those tickets, man. And parking and merch, it all adds up.
Yeah, it's like mortgage your house just to be able to afford a ticket price.
Yeah.
That's right.
It would seem to be hard to stop a scalper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if someone's willing to pay 50% over the ticket price, and someone, you know, then there'll be people who are selling them.
Although if the Spice Girls go to the Sphere,
doesn't matter how much it costs.
Just letting you all know now.
I hope they offer installment payments.
I volunteer doing weekend shifts.
Yep,
just
right.
saying. Good morning to you. Entertainment is sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. So yesterday we were running the ball all day long with halftime show highlights. We need to do our box office update. However, due to the big game, it was a super slow weekend for movies.
As an executive, I see no value in you.
You know we have the Bangkok merger coming up. Prove me wrong.
What? Whoa. Send Help to the box office a little bit. But for the second weekend in a row, Send Help drew the biggest crowds. The film stars Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, and it earned another $10 million. The rom-com Solo Mio took second place, and Iron Lung rounded out the top 3.
It used to be that people thought they had like a secret hack to go to Disneyland during Super Bowl because that's when it'd be nice and quiet.
Yeah.
And then people got onto this and they were like, you know what, let's go to Disneyland during Super Bowl, and now apparently it's packed.
No,
like
it's packed.
Yeah.
Universal Studios, I saw, was packed as well on Super Bowl Sunday. It was, wow, crazy. But guess what's coming out this weekend for all the lovers?
Wuthering Heights.
Heathcliff.
I've heard it's very steamy.
I heard it's very steamy. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to go this week and see it, and I will report back.
Wow.
All right, where do you listen to your music?
Spotify.
On what?
Are you
Apple.
Spotify? On Apple? I'm an Apple Music girl as well. Apple Music, Pandora, YouTube, the good old-fashioned radio. All great places to listen to and stream music, but Spotify is coming in strong with some big monthly numbers. The company said that it saw a record 38 million new users in the fourth quarter, taking its total to 751 million monthly active users, which is up 11% from a year earlier. Now, paying subscribers increased by 10%. to $290 million in the quarter. And Spotify said that the Wrapped campaign, you're familiar with that one, right?
It shows you your top songs.
It resulted in more than 300 million engaged users and 630 million shares on social media in 56 languages. And I'm sure one of those languages is Tagalog.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Masira.
Set up.
Masarap. That's right.
Misira.
Misira. I listened to you.
I got in your head.
You did. The rap campaign, you know, we saw a lot of people sharing that. For example, what's their most played song? What's the top genre? And who's their favorite artist and band?
Do you remember what yours was? Your top song?
Of the year from last year?
I don't know.
How do I know?
Well, because we have Apple Music, it doesn't tell you that.
Oh, that's right.
But we could, if you have Spotify, it tells you. But I like the skits where they go, Janice, come here. Come here, Janice, look. This was Bob's favorite song in 2025. Now we could go about our day. I just love that.
I know, like it's so important to everybody else.
So what's yours?
The Less I Know, the Better by Tame Impala. I listened to that song, I guess, a bazillion times.
Wow.
Oh, the less
I just don't listen to enough music. I don't listen to enough music to like even get a list. They'd be like,
What artist are you into right now?
I barely listen to new music.
What do you listen to? Just the sound of the car when you're driving?
I listen to news podcasts on the way.
Podcasts.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, how elevated of you.
So elevated. Oh, gosh, such a scholar. Well, from Spotify to Spookify. Good job, Jasmine, producer Jasmine. Last hour, we asked you, do you believe in ghosts? Can I add a fourth option? Only in your dating life, when you get ghosted.
Yeah.
So far, hey, thank you. 56% say
Seeing is believing, right?
That's right.
I was good at that.
Ghosting?
It's a different conversation.
Wow.
I was young. I didn't know what to do.
Heartbreaker.
Students in Pasadena are learning in a whole new way this morning using virtual reality and immersive storytelling as part of their everyday schoolwork.
Brooke Thomas is live at McKinley School of the Arts with a closer look. Good morning.
Hey there. Yeah, you know, this is my second time here in this room, in this building. If you'll remember, some months back last year, we were out here, really happy to be out here with these children and the staff, administrators, teachers, everybody, to talk really about how these kids are moving forward, right? So many affected by the Eaton wildfire and so many knowing someone who was affected. And these kids really are coming together and pushing forward. And that kind of brought me here to this really, really cool program. And we talked a lot about it last year, but I want to go even deeper because it's just something that I think everybody will want to know about. Good morning. Thank you all for being here with us. Hello, team. Okay, I'm going to get in the middle of you two right here. Okay, is that okay? Okay. So, you know, talk to me about this program and what these kids learn.
So the Immersive Storytelling Academy, really, I'm with the Equation to Success. And the really main thing is that we really want kids to really dive into immersive storytelling, understanding their identity, learning about lived experiences, but actually talking about what's happening in today's world. As you talked about the Altadena fires, we actually had kids really begin to see what that deeply meant to the community by exploring the life of Janice Johnson and how the fires really impacted her and what was happening around her.
They actually made what I would call like a little movie, and I watched it. I know we have video of it right now. It was beautiful, and to think that, you know, you see this woman who really is like a matriarch of her community, of this community that means so much to so many, that so many more know about now, unfortunately, because of the fires. Seeing them having this conversation with her and telling her story in that way, it was dynamic.
Absolutely, and I had students really wrap their arms around her because she was a teacher. Yeah. So just telling the students, hey, we've got a teacher and she's unfortunately suffered from this tragedy. So I had students really begin to prep questions for her, really take them through the writing process of really structuring an interview, a quality interview, right? Because she's giving of her time. We had her bring in her artifacts to really just say, let's really explore the life of Janice in the fire, outside of the fire. Who is she and how did this really impact her? And the students just loved her energy, and she was so amazing in sharing her story and giving her time.
Okay, I want to try to quickly get to everybody else. I love that. I love this story. I love the work that they did. They keep you busy, I imagine.
Yeah, they do actually. So I'm with GRA works, and pretty much we're the one supporting the team from the tech perspective, and just having to teach the kids all the tools, 3D scanning, 360 video, learning the actual practice of how to use these tools and to create experiences with them was really, really beautiful. And just seeing how they're able to merge the storytelling element that they learned from Mr. Kimai's team and then the tech element that they learned from our team at GRX, bringing everything together to tell a really good story was something I was really proud of.
The kids are beating us to the future somehow. Yeah, you're helping them do
the
that.
beautiful thing is, this was something I learned in school for my master's, but now at 6th grade, they're having to actually learn how to use these tools. It's prepping them for the future, so that way when they're in college, when they're out of college, they already have a future when it comes to immersive media, storytelling, and just knowing more about education.
That's amazing. These are not kids that use ChatGPT to write essays, okay? None of that here. Okay, I have to run, but superintendent, principal here, we're going to talk to them in the next hour because I imagine you are incredibly proud of these kids. I'm proud of these kids. I'll send things back to you all in the studio for right now.
All right, Brooke, thank you so much. All right, like it or not, screens have become a part of many children's lives. And for many parents, they're just trying to figure out how much is too much.
It's really a tough subject to navigate as a parent. So the American Academy of Pediatrics recently released a policy statement stressing the need for education for parents and really guidelines for their kids. And here to talk about what she thinks about kids and screens, pediatrician Corey Cross. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
It's a murky world that we've found ourselves in as parents, right?
It is, particularly because most of us didn't grow up this way. So we're trying to parent in a situation that we're not familiar with, and that also is just changing at such a rapid pace.
And you know it's not going away, right? This is just the future for our kids. It's going to incorporate in some way screen time. So it's mainly for parents. It's about how to keep them as engaged as possible and how to navigate that.
Absolutely. Like we had to pivot from this is the amount of screens you should use, let's focus on time, to really this is going to be woven into all walks of life for kids for the rest of their lives. So we have to learn how to use it.
And you're saying that for every kid and every teenager, their relationship with screen time is different depending on the child. Like not everybody's the same.
Absolutely. So, you know, their temperament, really like how and it might be different throughout their lives, right? Like how do they emotionally regulate now? How do they have body image issues now? Do they have ADHD, right? Like do they have great friends that are really supportive? Are they in a place where they're not feeling that? You know, where are they in their own personal development? And then also, how are they interacting with those screens? Some people are using social media where they're consuming and they're just learning things and they're watching reels and they're doing that. Other people are putting a lot of stuff out there. They're posting, they're trying to get validation. So you can have two people using Instagram in a completely different way. So that really changes things.
And so you've said it's kind of up to the parents to ask some questions of their kids. Like, how does it make you feel, for example, when you get all these likes? Or why are you consuming the kind of content that you're consuming?
Exactly. Like, why? Who do you follow? Like, what influencers do you like and why? Right? What is it that you're hoping to learn from them? And also, okay, if you think that the influencer maybe isn't the person your child should be following, what makes you think this is a person you'd want to be like? Right?
Right.
Let's just think about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's no set amount of time, I mean, that the American Academy of Pediatrics advises that this is, you know, how much is too much in terms of just a quantity of time?
There isn't, but I think, you know, if we use the monitors that we can use that help parents sort of look at a child's screen time, you know, you're into like the 5-6 hours, I think we can all agree that they can be doing other things with that time. We don't want to be crowding out other activities, right? So you can tell when it's way too much, and you want to make sure that you're carving out their sleep, that you're still having family time, family dinners, that they have time for hobbies, right? So as we're making sure that they're having time off the screens, then there's not that much time left. And it might be some days, you know, they can be on it for 2 hours, and other days, you know, they're coming home, they have sports, they've got to study, you don't want them using it when they're studying. Maybe they only have time for a half an hour.
Yeah.
Right? So as parents, we need to be a little bit more flexible.
You brought up a good point earlier about maybe our toddler moms out there. I have a 4-year-old, and sometimes, you know, he'll take the iPad and watch a show, or for example, there's some educational programming that we have him interact with. And you mentioned that as a parent, it is important to be right there alongside your kid to maybe like the information that they might be getting from a screen is basically one directional, right? They're just ingesting information.
Absolutely. So, you know, co-viewing it is the best thing you can do. It lets you know what the content is. It lets you decide if you think it's educational, because there's a lot of things out there that people say is educational that just isn't, right? And then it lets you reinforce the educational things they're learning in the real world. So if they're learning how to count on Sesame Street, okay, let's count out the forks as we put them on the table. Let's do something like that so that we can take this information we're learning and make it more concrete.
Yeah. So utilizing the technology that we have, knowing that it's not going to go away, that's the path moving forward.
That is, and making sure that you just keep checking in. You know, over and over again, you have to be having these hard conversations as your child is growing.
Dr. Corey Cross, you know, I feel like we just scratched the surface with this topic, and we can have a much longer conversation with you. So we'll definitely have you back. For folks out there that want more information or need more help, where can they go?
So the AAP is a great place. That's the American Academy of Pediatrics. They have a parent site, Healthy Children. So those two places have a wealth of information. You can take a Are You Ready for a Phone quiz? You can do all sorts of different things on there that really help parents focus in on what their exact needs are.
It's good to have a roadmap. Thank you, Dr. Cross. We appreciate you. All right, more coming up on Good Day LA, but first let's get over to Samada for a check on our traffic. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good Day LA traffic is sponsored by law offices of Jacob and Ronnie. Call jacob.com. We do have this brand new crash. We're going to take it out to the Orange area, the Anaheim area, Yorba Linda, westbound side of the 91 at Lakeview Avenue. Crash there off to the center divider area. Has you a little slow, and a collision eastbound 91 at Woodruff Avenue. They were working on getting those 3 vehicles out of the road, and it appears that they have been successful. Just some residual slowing. And a live Caltrans camera looked through the OC, northbound 55 at Chapman. Looks good. Southbound side, a little heavy. Here's a look at some other traffic hot spots.
I looked up and just ran. Maybe we need to seek somebody who does have the expertise to be able to guide us through the process.
If you're getting to an accident,
You're in good hands by dealing with Jacob and Ron.
call Jacob.
Welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. We have something very special coming up, so I want you to stay tuned for this. In the meantime, we're watching this area of low pressure. This is the first of a series of storms I'm watching that's going to bring us rain finally. This one moving in sometime today. I would say the morning commute should be dry, but later in the afternoon and evening, we will get that moisture. We're going to talk about some light to moderate rainfall, particularly as we get into the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. And then we'll get a little bit of a break. Thursday, Friday, Saturday for Valentine's Day, it looks good. And then we're going to watch another area of low pressure, which is still developing here in the North Pacific. That's going to bring us more rain and snow late Sunday into Monday of next week. And there's another one behind that. In the meantime, we do have some wind advisories going into effect this afternoon. So all the areas shaded in the beige color, that's where the winds are going to gust near 40, even 50 miles an hour, the mountains and deserts. And we do have a high surf advisory that's going into effect for some bigger waves rolling in. I wouldn't go in the water, though, after today. 65 degrees along our coast, 66 tomorrow with that wet weather continuing, 66 for downtown LA. That is below the average and the first time we've hit the 60s in quite a while. 67 for the valleys and the Inland Empire with those scattered showers. Look at Valentine's Day. It looks good with that 70 degrees. The mountains 53 degrees with some scattered showers. The high desert areas, let's go to there because there's also a chance for some rain there. And then Palm Springs in the low desert, we are going to get maybe a 10% chance for some showers, greater chances as we get into this weekend, Sunday into Monday. All right, Bobby.
I'm ready.
I'm joining you.
We are so ready for this. With their signature bright orange shell, Ilocos empanadas are a popular Filipino street food, and one food truck is gaining popularity for serving up this crispy treat right here in Los Angeles. Michelle and Oswald Naval are the husband and wife team behind Ilocos Empanada here in LA, and they're joining us here at the Good Day Cafe. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Oh my God,
yes.
my goodness. So you've been doing this for a year, and this has become viral, right? Because like people are going crazy. It became so popular. You started doing this out of your house first, right?
Yes. Last year, January, we started doing accepting orders and selling in the marketplace, and then unexpectedly we lost our job, and then we kept on doing the empanada.
Wow.
And then we started in the food truck last December. And then unexpectedly it blew up. So
It's viral.
it's going viral, and we're so thankful.
They're both certified nurses, and then they like now have jumped into this whole thing.
Amazing.
Okay. So tell us about the empanadas, because we've both had Filipino empanadas, but our little different, right?
They're much bigger. These are like big empanadas.
Yeah. It's not the usual empanada that we see.
Yes.
So our Ilocos empanada is bigger. So this Filipino empanada, we call it in the Philippines Ilocos empanada. So it originated in the northern province in Ilocos Norte.
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Again.
And then what's inside of them?
So inside, the filling is mung beans, the tiny green beans, shredded green papaya, one whole egg, and then ground pork. So it's all together.
Wait a minute. So my Lola had one thing that would always put in it when we were making it when I was a kid, and that was raisins. Wait, do you put the raisins in this one or a different one?
No.
That's a different one.
That's a different. Yeah.
And really quickly, this recipe actually came from your family in the Philippines.
So there's a lot in the Philippines selling this Ilocos empanadas. So.
Oh, well, it's very hefty.
You ready?
It's cheers.
It's all about
warm.
It's all about crunch. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Now, you have
try it with the vinegar.
Tell us about the special sauce you have here. It's what?
Yeah, it's a special vinegar. So in back home, we also eat the Ilocos empanada with the banana ketchup. If you know the banana ketchup.
The banana ketchup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the UFC ketchup.
So
the vinegar makes up.
So where are you guys? Like, how do we find you?
So our food truck is parked in Eagle Rock Boulevard.
Oh, Eagle Rock?
Yeah. In front of, to those who are asking, it's parked in front or near 4010 Eagle Rock Boulevard, 90065.
This seems so intensive to make each one of these. It must take you a long time to make these things.
Yeah, it's a lot of work actually, and there's a lot of process. That's why it really takes time to cook them.
But you still love it, and do you miss time at nursing and your
we're enjoying, especially when a lot of our a lot of Ilocanos, usually Ilocanos, they miss empanada because we grew up eating this.
Yes.
So there's a lot of them missing empanada. So
okay,
yeah.
Check them out. Michelle Oswald, their food truck in Eagle Rock. It is Ilocos Empanados. Salamat.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good.
Good morning. Welcome to the 9 o'clock hour on this Tuesday. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Jen Lammers in for Sandra this morning. Let's take a look at your Tuesday morning headlines.
A ransom deadline has passed. Another video shows just how personal this plea has become. We have the latest on the search for Nancy Guthrie.
Plus, the Trump administration pulling millions of health funds away from blue states, including California. How this could lead to a local sales tax hike.
And somebody is going viral on YouTube for his halftime show and breaking records. Here's a hint. He's so good at being bad. But first, Maria, is the weather going to be good or bad?
Perfect. Perfectly bad. Good. You know what? It's actually going to be really good. I'm so excited about the rain that's coming because it's been a while since we've talked about measurable rain in downtown LA. We're seeing the clouds. This is all related to an area of low pressure that is spinning just offshore now. So we anticipate rain for your afternoon and evening commute. Right now, temperatures are mostly in the 50s, as you can see, 61 in Santa Ana. High temperatures will range anywhere from 53 in Big Bear today, with those showers increasing later to this afternoon, this evening. 60 for the high desert, upper 70s still in the low desert areas. Downtown LA, 66 degrees. That is noticeably cooler. The entire month we have had above average highs. So we're going to cool it down. We're going to talk more about the rain and the timing in just a few moments. In the meantime, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. Developing news this morning, an armed man who barricaded himself inside of a Lancaster home for more than 15 hours has finally been taken into custody. The man holed up in a home on Blue Sky Court around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Surrounding homes were evacuated. Last night, deputies resorted to means like tear gas to push the man out, but that didn't work. Instead, authorities say the standoff ended around 6 o'clock this morning.
Happening now at LA City Hall, Mayor Karen Bass is taking new action against ICE operations in Los Angeles. She signed an executive order, directive that is, that would mirror an LA County ordinance. It will prevent the federal government from using city facilities as staging areas or processing centers for federal immigration enforcement authorities. Gigi is at this press conference and she'll bring us updates in the next hour. And breaking news out of Washington, D.C., where congressional lawmakers questioned the leaders of the nation's top immigration agencies. Live look inside the House Homeland Security Committee hearing right now, where the acting head of ICE, Todd Lyons, along with the leaders of Border Patrol and U.S. Citizenship and Immigration are testifying right now. The three agencies fall under the Department of Homeland Security, which faces a funding deadline later this week. Lawmakers are pressing for answers after two people were shot and killed by federal agents last month in Minneapolis. So far in the hearing, DHS leaders committed to giving the committee the final reports on Renee Good and Alex Preddy's killings. The hearing will also focus on how immigration enforcement operations are being conducted and whether changes are needed to prevent future tragedies. Border Czar Tom Homan said that in a Fox News interview last month that, quote, we're going to create a database where those people that are arrested for interference, impeachment, assault, we're going to make them famous. A few minutes ago, Representative Lou Correa from Orange County pressed the acting ICE director about the possibility of a protester database.
Those people protesting, practicing this First Amendment right, photos of them, data taken, they're not being placed in any kind of a database?
There is no database for protesters, sir.
One of your officers in Maine said to one of the individuals protesting, we're going to put your face in a little database. What does that mean? Do you have a little database of Americans?
No, sir, we don't.
Then what do you think your ICE agent was doing to this individual when he said those statements?
I can't speak for that individual, sir, but I can assure you there is no database that's tracking United States citizens.
And that is Representative Lou Correa speaking. Today's hearing expected to shape what happens next, both in terms of DHS funding and how these agencies operate moving forward. We'll, of course, continue to track the latest from this hearing, bring you the latest headlines as we get them.
Meantime, the Trump administration is going after California and 3 other Democrat-led states by taking back more than $600 million in CDC funds for state and local health grants. A directive from the White House Office of Management and Budget says California, Colorado, Illinois, and Minnesota are, quote, fraught with waste and mismanagement, alleging the funds would have gone toward programs the administration says are too woke. The directive also calls for taking back $943 million by the Transportation Department.
To help cover a couple $1 billion in federal funding cuts to the LA County healthcare system, officials suggesting raising sales tax. We're looking live right now at a news conference in downtown LA to promote the temporary half sales tax hike proposed for the June ballot. The Board of Supervisors expected to approve putting the tax hike on the ballot later this morning. And here's what it would look like. So the proposal would push the county sales tax from 9.75 to 10.25%. That is the highest amount allowed under California law. And under the proposal, the increase would end in October of 2031. We'll also continue to monitor this press conference with another update in the next hour.
Another big headline for you. Days after Nancy Guthrie went missing, the Pima County Sheriff's Department says it still has no person of interest or suspects in the case. This all comes as the agency deploys some resources across state lines.
Caroline Elliott joining us live from Tucson, Arizona with the very latest developments. Caroline.
Yeah, Roxia, Jen. Well, the latest we have from TMZ is that as of 2 hours ago, that Bitcoin wallet that was included in that initial ransom note was sitting at a balance of $0. So it appears, again, as of 2 hours ago, that ransom possibly had not been paid yet. And so the family is now taking to social media to ask the public for help.
I believe our mom is still out there.
It's been more than a week since 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie went missing. In an emotional video posted to Instagram, Savannah Guthrie said the family is at a loss after the second ransom deadline passed.
If they were really after money, they would have made it easy to get the money, and they didn't do that.
As the investigation enters day 10, some are now raising serious questions on if the ransom note is even real.
The fact that you have multiple deadlines with no negative consequences that we know of at the end of each one, with the changing amounts of the ransom. I mean, is it possible that the quote-unquote abductors and the people that are trying to get ransom for are different and separate?
The FBI says it's sending more agents to Tucson and posting digital billboards in several major cities to help with the search. It comes after law enforcement sources described a delay in local cooperation with federal investigators, with days passing before they were allowed into the fold.
We might be back to square one in that they're just working the pavement, trying to follow leads and do, detective work.
And the sheriff's department says thousands of tips are coming in, but as of right now, investigators say they still do not have a suspect or a person of interest in this case. Bob, Roxia.
And as far as we know right now, there's been no established proof of life from Nancy Guthrie or the alleged kidnappers. I'm wondering, because the community usually comes out in situations like this, have you seen a canvassing done in the neighborhood by neighbors or community members?
Roxia, we have not. We will tell you, though, law enforcement has really asked people to stay out of the way in this area so they can get their job done. Again, this is a broad search area they're looking at right now. Again, not just in Tucson, but possibly all around the state and even beyond state lines.
Well, it's going in all sorts of directions at this point. All right, Caroline, thank you.
Meantime, back here at home, a Pasadena fire captain is facing 9 felony charges for allegedly sexually abusing 3 children over 2 decades. Take a look at who they arrested. 45-year-old Christopher Ramstead. The LA County District Attorney's Office says all 3 victims were under 14, and that the incidents took place in LA and Ventura counties between 2003 and last year. Ramstead pleaded not guilty, and he's being held now without bail.
This morning, we are learning more about what led to the death of actress Catherine O'Hara. A death certificate from the LA County Medical Examiner's Office states she died from a pulmonary embolism with rectal cancer as the underlying cause. The oncologist who signed off on the death certificate said that he had been treating her since last March. The document also states that she was cremated. O'Hara was rushed to a Santa Monica hospital on Friday, January 30th from her Brentwood home. She died that same day. She was 71 years old.
New this morning, popular outdoor sportswear company Eddie Bauer has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection, citing falling sales and rising costs. This marks the 3rd bankruptcy in just over 2 decades for the brand. But here's the good news. Although some locations could close, most of the company's 180 stores across the U.S. and Canada will stay open while it looks for a buyer. Online sales are not impacted at this time. The company started in Seattle in 1920, but has struggled to compete with newer outdoor labels and attract younger shoppers. Eddie Bauer has 2 locations in our area, Woodland Hills and San Clemente.
I didn't realize it had existed for so long.
That's right.
Wow.
1920. Yeah. Gosh, over 100 years.
9/11 still to come. We're talking about that Super Bowl halftime show because it is breaking records.
That's right. Amanda will be joining us with those details after the break. But first, let's get a check on traffic.
And we do have some traffic. Good Day LA Traffic is brought to you by DTLA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorneys. Let's take a look at one of our live traffic cameras to see it live here on the East 91 freeway. This is right at the 57, and you can see it's actually moving nicely at this hour, and the roads are dry. That's good news. It will be a different story as we get into the afternoon. As we look at our real-time drive times in and out of downtown LA, it is slow on that 10 freeway. West 10 towards Santa Monica between the 5 to the 405, 51 minutes. Northbound 110 between the 405 to the 10, 29 minutes. Not too bad. Westbound 60 between the 57 to the 5, also quite slow, 40 minutes there. Here's a look at some of the other traffic hotspots.
This broadcast is locally sponsored by DT LA Law Group, Auto Accident and Injury Attorneys. Have an injury? Text Injury Help to 40222 or visit us online at calldowntown.com. Message and data rates and usage may apply.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quilban. Excited about storm number 1 here. It is just offshore, and it will be bringing us some rain. By the way, Good Day LA Weather is sponsored by Pechanka Resort Casinos. Storm number 1 will be bringing us some rain. I would say your afternoon, evening commute is when we'll start to see those scattered showers, light to moderate, and then we'll see steady rain through the night and during the overnight hours. And then it'll be out of here pretty quickly, actually. Thursday, we should see dry conditions. Friday, Saturday for Valentine's Day, you should be able to expect some clear skies, actually, for Saturday. And then we watch another area of low pressure. And this one's a much colder storm system, which will bring widespread rain and more mountain snow, especially for the Sierra Nevada, but also for our local resorts. We could be seeing, with this first round, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain possible for the coast and valleys through the end of the day tomorrow. We've got some gusty winds as well with this system, so all the areas shaded in this beige color could see those wind gusts gusts up to 40, even 50 miles an hour. So those southerly winds will kick up for sure. The timeline, as you can see here, today, tomorrow for that rain chance, and then that little break in between systems, mostly Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then that another opportunity late Sunday into Monday, Tuesday of next week. Another one behind that for the following weekend. Thousand Oaks, we've got kind of the peak of the sunshine trying to get through the cloud cover here. Otherwise, staying pretty cloudy through the rest of the afternoon, and that high staying in the 60s, so cooler than average. Big Bear, we're looking at some sunshine as well mixed with the clouds, but only really dropping to the 40s as we get to this afternoon. And Anaheim and Orange County, a high of near 66 degrees later today. Back to you.
Okay, so don't blow dry my hair.
Yes, that's the
don't do it. That's how you know how we have like what to wear forecast? I need to know like blow dry or not blow dry.
But you can wash your car on Thursday.
But just not wash your hair. Okay. Yeah. Check. Got it. Thanks. Right. Entertainment is sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. Bad Bunny is getting some good views on his halftime show on YouTube. We're still waiting for the official ratings to come in from the Super Bowl halftime show. Early preliminary reports have it between 135.4 million to about 142 million and change.
Wow.
So we got to see where we're at.
I mean, that seems significant.
Very much so. And significant also on YouTube as well. I mean, millions in just 24 hours. I love seeing our stage manager bop his head. That was I love it. That was a very dad move, and I love it. Bad Bunny broke the record for most watched Super Bowl halftime show on YouTube in 24 hours with over 48 million views. The previous record holder was Shakira and Jennifer Lopez, but so far now, the video has 55 million views. And they had 52 million views just a few hours ago. So it's growing and going. It has over 150,000 comments as well and counting. Remember, this is all in just one day.
I just look at the casita, like when they're like going by, like looking at each person dancing, and like they have their move, right? They have their move set up.
I also went back, everything he did, this is going back to what you said yesterday, had a meaning. You know, I went back, I mean, my grandfather was Puerto Rican. He was a boxer. Boxing is a big thing. Playing dominoes outside was a big thing. There's a Caribbean social club that's been going for decades in New York City. And the blonde lady with the blue suit that you saw, she's the actual owner of this Caribbean social club in New York that's featured in the Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh
Sugar cane plans. Everything he did.
So thoughtful.
Yes, so thoughtful. And you know what else is thoughtful? When somebody writes me an email to amanda.salas@fox.com to give their SoCal sweetheart a shout out.
Oh.
Do you know that we have very romantic viewers?
No, tell me more.
Wow, the sentimentality of it all.
It's that time of year again. Where's my Cupid harp?
Aww.
You're going to share your SoCal sweethearts with us. This one's from Jamie. Thank you. Jamie, who says, quote, my husband, Danny, and I met in middle school.
What?
And have been together for over 30 years.
Oh, my gosh.
And we'll be celebrating 25 years of marriage in July. We are proud grandparents. You don't look old enough to be grandparents.
Grandparents?
Proud grandparents to three beautiful babies. And the key to lasting is putting in the effort and always making time for a date.
30 plus years.
Yay!
They obviously are doing something right.
That's right. What's your secret sauce?
Yes, happy early 25th wedding anniversary. You guys are such cuties.
Cutie patooties.
Our little SoCal sweethearts. If you want to see your SoCal sweetheart featured here, just send it straight to me. You know, just cut out the middleman. Just send it straight to me. Amanda.salas@fox.com. It's my dopamine hit seeing all these beautiful pictures of these couples. So send me your cute picture. Roxanne, please stop sending me your photo. It's been 5 days and you're clogging up my inbox.
You know what's funny? I actually just now was thinking I was going to send one as a joke. So you like read my mind. I haven't done it yet, but it's funny you say that.
I read your mind. I might just have to ghost you. Hey, that brings me to my poll question of the day. We have to segue it somehow. Last hour we asked you. Nice job. Thank you. Do you believe in ghosts?
Ooh.
Yeah, 60%. Yes, and you've seen some
you
stuff.
do.
Give you a break, or only in your dating life. Go to foxla.com/vote.
Okay. I want proof.
Yeah.
The only proof you get is like a chair gets moved or like something inconvenient happens, like a door closes.
A viewer sent proof. back in, I believe it was 2018, I was doing a live shot when I worked evenings on the Queen Mary, and they sent it to the desk, and they screenshotted my live shot, and they said there was an orb.
And you believed it?
Could have been a piece of dust.
I believed
Couldn't have been a piece of dust.
No, it was the Queen Mary. It was in the most haunted room of the Queen Mary. Of course I believed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Don't you believe in
Now
love?
with AI, I believe.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I think I have plans for Valentine's Day. Do you?
Not yet.
Well, my guy's working, so
he better be working on it.
Your other guy's not. Your little guy's not.
Wow, she almost said other guy, and that was like, I'm sorry.
Your little guy.
Yeah, her little guy.
Don't bring up my side piece. No, kidding, okay? Don't get any ideas.
But you might have to pay if you go out with this little guy.
Well, I was thinking about what to do for him, but my mom actually gave him a huge heart full of chocolate. So
Nana.
Bribery material.
Yeah, of course. You know, I love when you're here for the 9 because it really is a soft launch to what to expect for 11 a.m. So thank you for being here. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, is love truly in the air? That might not be the case for some Gen Zers. No, no, no. Apparently, many younger Americans are looking to redefine the holiday, you know, because hashtag it's complicated. That's according to a new survey commissioned by Etsy. It found that nearly half of Gen Z view Valentine's Day as cringe, outdated, with the saying, breakups feel more freeing than upsetting.
Oh.
In fact, 56% of respondents believing that reinvention is the best part of being newly single.
they claim that non-traditional milestone moments like breakups need to be celebrated. So they're feeling more empowered to celebrate their independence, their creativity. And this is just one example of that.
It's okay to get a pint of ice cream and listen to Alanis
It's okay to watch a Julia Roberts rom-com.
Yeah,
right?
It's a little sad.
Yeah, jump into a pint of chocolate ice cream.
Ask
it's
them,
okay.
is she prettier than me? You know, now available on Etsy's website, the company has launched the breakup shop. Yeah, okay, we want to reinvent it, AK, we want to make more money. Sorry.
Yeah,
a space for solo shoppers to snag personal, affirming, and self-care items.
Come on, you already look heartbroken. Don't let them leave you broke, too, okay?
Yeah, don't put the broke in heartbroken.
Yeah.
You know, also, can I just remind everyone that your Valentine's Day does not have to be romantic. When my grandfather passed away, I made sure that my grandmother never went without flowers on Valentine's
that's
Day.
very sweet.
Very
sweet.
You can
just celebrate people.
You could, and now we've turned that to edible arrangements because she likes
Galentine's Day.
Yeah, Galentine's Day, Grandmother's Day. Yeah,
and then it just becomes edibles. You know, it's like. And with that said, we'll be right back.
She's probably watching going, Right.
Good morning. Welcome to it. 9:31. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Jen Lammers in for Sandra this morning. Let's take a look at your Tuesday morning headlines. Amid a nationwide immigration crackdown, California's mask ban for law enforcement gets blocked. And a big announcement from Mayor Karen Bass.
Plus, Cuba enforcing a new rule for airlines with trips to the island. Details on the worsening energy crisis and potential impact to your travel plans.
And U.S. skier Lindsey Vonn speaks out on her latest Olympic crash, the tough road to recovery, and the inspirational message she has for all of her fans. We'll have more on that, but first, let's get over to Maria for a check on this forecast.
Yeah, let's talk about the coming rain. It's not raining right now. Right now it's dry, so use today. Turn off the sprinklers, please, and make sure your windshield wipers are in good working order. It is 61 degrees and partly cloudy in downtown LA. We have been spoiled by all the warm weather, dry weather conditions since January 4th, and every single day this month of February so far has been above average. Well, today I think we're going to break that streak. Today we're going to see a high of only 66 degrees for downtown LA, or at least close to that. There's that first storm system we're watching. It's going to move in later today, probably start showering during your afternoon commute, depending on where you are, and then getting more widespread during the overnight hours into early tomorrow morning. Nothing too drastic in terms of the impacts. I think this will generally be a beneficial rain, as well as perhaps a couple of inches in our local resorts, which will be great news. A little bit of break for Thursday, Friday, Saturday before the next cold system moves in, just in time for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week. And look at the snow in the Sierra Nevada. We're going to be talking about feet of snow. Like I said today, 66 degrees. That's below the average of 68, and that sun will set at 5:32. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. LA Mayor Karen Bass is taking new action in her ongoing battle against ICE.
Gigi Graciette is live at City Hall to explain. Good morning.
Good morning. The mayor just signing this executive directive. It basically mirrors one that was proposed by LA County Board of Supervisors Lindsay Horvath and Hilda Solis back in January. That one, if it goes into effect, would ban immigration enforcement on county-owned property. This one has to do with city-owned property. Take a look. There you see the mayor signing executive directive number 17. This would bar county immigration agents from operating on any city-owned property, among other things. Now, the directive, if everything goes as planned, would have signage posted on all city-owned or controlled properties that reads, "This property is owned or controlled by the city of Los Angeles. It may only be used for its intended city purpose and not used for immigration enforcement as a staging area, processing location, or operations base." That would prohibit federal agents from using the property for any enforcement. In addition to signage, we could see physical barriers going up at some locations, like gates or doors to limit access. And the directive could affect private property owners too, because the Department of City Planning is now been ordered to prepare an ordinance and study that could result in what's called an impact fee on any owner of private property in LA City who gives site control to anyone for the purpose of conducting immigration enforcement and related activities.
So let me be clear, we will never allow our city to be divided. We will never allow ICE to continue doing what it's doing in terms of attempting to stage in different areas. And I will tell you that when they have attempted, they have been told they have to leave.
And apparently they tried staging at a local police department with the LAPD, and that is what the mayor is referring to. Now, there are some lengthy paragraphs about also what the LAPD should do in the case of an Immigration Enforcement Act, and one of the things is instruct all officers that their body-worn cameras must be activated, that all the event must be recorded and that video preserved, and that officers should reassure bystanders that they're not part of the immigration enforcement, that they're there just to enforce public safety. We'll have much more coming up on LA City's Executive Directive number 17. Reporting live outside City Hall, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
Gigi, thank you. Appreciate you being there. In the meantime, a federal judge says California cannot ban federal immigration agents from wearing masks. The law, signed in September, required agents to show clear identification but did not allow them to cover their faces. The Trump administration said the ban put officers officers at risk and went against the Constitution. The judge decided the law singled out federal agents unfairly since it did not apply to state officers. A new bill to include state police in that ban expected to be quickly introduced to the state legislature.
New this morning, a Los Angeles man has been charged in the 1996 killing of a young woman whose case remained unsolved for nearly 3 decades. Prosecutors say 63-year-old Brian Walton is accused of stabbing 23-year-old Claudia Guevara after she disappeared from an El Monte bus stop. Investigators say new DNA evidence linked Walton to the crime. He's also accused of raping her. If convicted, he faces life in prison without parole, and prosecutors are still deciding whether to seek the death penalty.
New this morning, Fox News Digital reporting that law enforcement officials will be releasing a surveillance photo of a potential suspect today in the search for Nancy Guthrie. A press conference expected to happen later today where that image will be released. The search for Guthrie is now expanding here in Southern California, as you see right there. This is a billboard. This is along the 210 freeway in Irwindale, displaying Nancy Guthrie's photo and information. This is one of 3 signs here locally, part of a multi-state alert as investigators expand the search beyond Arizona. It's been over a week since the 84-year-old disappeared from her home near Tucson, and a $6 million Bitcoin ransom deadline appears to have passed. The FBI operating a 24-hour command post. Take a look at the screen right there. You see that number. That is for tips, any information you may have. There's that $50,000 reward still that's being offered for information which may lead to finding Nancy Guthrie.
Well, we'll be looking forward to that press conference, see what happens. Also developing, Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, now says she will only testify if President Trump grants her clemency. That offer raising concerns about potential corruption amid continuing questions about the president's own alleged relationship with the convicted sex offender. Maxwell pleaded the 5th during a deposition before the House Oversight Committee on Monday. Her attorney says, quote, both President Trump and President Clinton are innocent of any wrongdoing. Ms. Maxwell alone can explain why.
New this morning, Cuba says airlines can no longer refuel on the island as it deals with energy rationing. It comes as U.S. political pressure led Venezuela and Mexico to pause oil shipments to Cuba. That means flights cannot head down there unless they have enough fuel to leave. It may not be an issue for short flights out of the states like Florida, but Air Canada is now suspending all of its flights to Cuba because of the shortage and will soon send empty flights to Cuba to pick up any customers wanting to come home. Other airlines are monitoring the situation, and Cuba says it hasn't received any oil since December and fears it won't get another shipment until next month.
So LA County residents may end up voting on whether to raise the county sales tax to cover cuts in health care funding.
Mario is joining us now with more on a proposed June ballot measure to hike the county sales tax a half-cent. Hi, Mario.
Yeah, that's right. And county leaders say this half-cent sales tax hike, a proposal, would be necessary to cover federal health care cuts. It would generate billions of dollars over the next 5 years. And we just heard from county supervisors here outside the Hall of Administration. Take a listen.
Crisis that the county cannot sit by idly and watch unfold before our eyes. And it has become abundantly clear that at least for the next 3 years, this Trump administration has no intention of reversing these cuts.
So today, Supervisor Solis and I will be urging our colleagues from the Board of Supervisors to pass the motion before them that will let voters decide on a temporary half-cent sales tax on non-essential goods.
Supervisors Mitchell and Solis introducing a motion that would place a 0.5% sales tax measure on the June ballot. The county officials that we heard from say the measures needed to offset more than $2 billion in federal funding cuts to L.A. County's health care system following the passage of H.R. 1, the federal budget bill signed by President Trump. Supervisors say the cuts are the largest to Medicaid in U.S. history, and they're already having a significant local impact. About 1 in 3 county residents, more than 3 million people, rely on Medi-Cal including nearly 1 million children. And in just the first 4 months after the cuts took effect, more than 120,000 county residents lost coverage. Now, county health leaders warn the loss of coverage could lead to hospital and clinic closures, reduced services, and emergency room overcrowding. Supporters say this tax could provide critical funding to preserve access to health care and other essential county services. Now, we want to show you how these numbers break down. The current sales tax sits at 9.75%, and this proposal would jump it up to 10.5%, or I should say 10.25%. If approved by voters, that proposed sales tax would exempt most essential items, including groceries, medicine, and purchases made with SNAP. Now, the tax would expire in 2031, and again, if this makes it past the LA County Board of Supervisors today, it would be up to voters ultimately, and they would see it on the June ballot later this year. For now, live downtown, I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
Mario, thank you for that. And for renters in Los Angeles County, applications are open for the county's emergency rent relief program. It offers up to $15,000 per unit to cover 6 months of rent, mortgage debt, or utilities. The program runs through March 11th and prioritizes small landlords and low-income households. With $14.6 million in new funding, officials aim to assist more residents facing financial struggles. We do have details on how to apply if you go to our website at foxla.com.
One of California's largest public employee unions is pushing new legislation now to make remote work a permanent option for state workers. So right now, Governor Newsom has a July 1st mandate requiring most employees back in the office 4 days a week. However, the bill would require agencies to offer telework when possible and explain why they can't. Supporters argue remote work saves money, reduces traffic, and helps with recruiting and retaining good workers.
Music can spark joy, of course, provide hope, also inspiration, and that is why the Omni Peace Foundation exists.
Yeah, Coco McAvoy is live in Long Beach now with more, where the Omni Peace Foundation is launching its 4th global music box. This is very exciting. Good morning.
Hey there, it is a huge day for Precious Lamb Preschool in Long Beach. We are talking about the fact that there was a ribbon cutting ceremony for a global music box. You're looking at how beautiful this room is, and this is going to be the first time the kids are going to come in and see this room, and you can imagine their excitement. Hello! Look at how adorable and wonderful they are. I love the kid with the Star Wars. Oh my goodness, a set of twins as well. And there's so much for them to play with and explore, and really, truly, this is what it's all about. This is launched from the Omni Peace Foundation. You're seeing Mary now from the Omni Peace Foundation playing with kids, as well as Christine, who is the donor for this. I am now joined with Sherry and Matt. And Sherry, I want to start with you. You're the executive director for this preschool here, and if you can talk about what today means.
Well, first of all, this is such a joy to see these little faces, see this magical space for the very first time. It makes my heart so happy. We have kept this room a beautiful secret until we were ready with you and Mary and Christine for this big reveal. Music, as we all know, really creates so much well-being, stability for our kids. It's absolutely a joy to have this here. Such a gift.
It is. And tell us about Precious Lamb Preschool.
I'd love to. We have been operational for 24 years. Not in this building. We came to this brand new campus in June of last year, so we've not been here a year. And I hope you'll get a chance to see the campus. I know you were outside. It's really a space where we're able to grow. Our hope and our vision is that we have this space to serve more children over time.
Yes. And I also have to bring in Matt here, your board chair for Precious Lamb. What today means to you? I know you're a big part of this as well.
Oh, no, yeah. It's just amazing to see the kids' faces. And you know, this room really took on a life of its own when we had the artists come in and do this. And it's going to just be amazing for the kids. I mean, you can see their reaction today. So this will live on forever, and it'll be great. You know, these kids a lot of them will be the first experience with music and instruments. So I think it's going to be really, really transformative.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Matt. it. And really, that's the perfect word. It's transformative. And you're seeing the kids are already having so much fun, so many different instruments for them to play with. I know my 2.5-year-old son loves the tambourine. There's plenty of those. This is truly making my heart so happy to see these kids playing with the ukuleles as well. I'll send it back to you.
It's so great.
They love it.
These music programs are pretty amazing.
I know.
Good stuff. All right. Thank you, Coco. All right, let's talk Olympics. Team USA Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn posted on Instagram about her crash in the downhill on Sunday. According to her post, she suffered a complex tibia fracture that will require multiple surgeries to fix properly. She raced despite tearing the ACL in her left knee just 9 days earlier. She says, though, despite all this, she has no regrets. Quote, knowing I stood there, having a chance to win was a victory in and of itself. I also knew that racing was a risk. It always was and always will be an incredibly dangerous sport.
I can't imagine how much pain she had to have been in. That's when you snap your shin bone.
I think at that point she was just doing it. She's feeling that pain now.
Right.
I found some pictures of when she was a guest in our studio, and we had a chance to interview her. So I just posted those on our Instagram.
Yeah, boy, she's a
pretty
tough athlete.
amazing.
She really is. Incredible. Okay, speaking of incredible, students in Pasadena came together to produce a documentary that highlights an Altadena resident who was displaced in the LA fires.
Let's go to Brooke right now, live at McKinley School of the Arts Immersive Storytelling Academy with all the details. Brooke.
First of all, when you said speaking of incredible, I thought you were going to say, speaking of incredible, let's talk to Brooke, but you didn't. So that was a missed opportunity, I'll tell you that. No, the people who don't miss opportunities, these children, and they're not going to miss any in the future either. They really are setting themselves up. Yes, these kids, it's so funny because they've been in here working hard, right? When I walked in the room, they were all working hard, heads down, and now that the camera is up, everybody is stiff as a board, quiet, pencils down. I said, what kind of classroom is this? Just kidding. They're all really great kids. These are extra special kids. Matter of fact, let's go over to the superintendent to talk about you have to be proud. There's a lot of rebuilding that you all are doing here in this community, coming together as well. And these are some superstars.
They certainly are, and this has been a healing process as well as a cultural experience, and it's a grassroots effort from our community on how it got started, so I'm very proud of them.
I love that. Speaking of pride, come over here, Principal, because you just, the way you know every single one of these kids and what they need, how they are, who they are, it's magic. And speaking of pride, I know you have a lot of it.
Yes, we are so proud of our students just to see the work that they do every day, the collaboration, the creativity, the innovation, just to watch them learn how to tell their stories, but also the stories of others. The hands-on, every day, getting their hands into their work, into their curriculum, into their content. It's amazing to watch the work that they do every single day.
Speaking of, when you watch Janice Johnson Beneath the Ashes, were you like, where did you guys, did you get this from Netflix? Were you? It's really good. It's really well done. These babies did that.
Yes, and they connected with Ms. Johnson in ways that it's just hard to put into words. They really resonated with her, she with them, just to tell her story and for them to be able to see the impact on her life and to be able to tell her story in a way that really resonated with the community was a wonderful endeavor.
Yeah, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to talk to some students. Because listen, I cannot let your lip gloss go to waste, honey. Okay, I saw you getting ready before. I saw you, and it's cute. Tell everybody your name.
Anaya.
Anaya, okay. And what's your favorite part about this program that you get to participate in?
Probably that, like, we get to write more and express ourselves and make more stories.
Yeah. Do you feel like it has changed, like, maybe what you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, maybe because, like, we're experiencing it more and we're writing to see, like, if we like that better than we wanted to, like, do before.
Girl, how old are you?
11.
You sound like you're 17. You look 11, though, so that's good. That's good. You just are so smart. You're all so smart. What about you? What's your favorite thing about this program? You're like, wait, what about me?
It's like more writing.
Yeah.
Like, you, like, just, like...
It makes learning fun, I imagine, right? Yeah.
Because, like, there's more activities. Like, I think I really like the poem a lot because, like, there's painting. It's just really fun.
Yeah, I love that. This is awesome. Okay, I'll send things back to you in the studio. All these kids are really great. They just are.
They're so great. They're so creative. And, yes, they're so smart. Brooke, thank you. All right, we'll be right back.
Before Rolling Stone ever existed, one woman was already telling the stories of Black music and Black artists from her dining room right here in Los Angeles.
She's a Black American woman doing things that other women aren't doing in this time.
You were the Black couple moving up the ladder of success.
They were the first African American music and arts magazine on the scene. And the one who ran the ship was Regina Jones.
That's right. Wowie wow. She's a journalist, publisher, and co-founder of Soul, whose extraordinary life is now the focus of the NAACP Image Award nominated documentary titled Who the Hell is Regina Jones? I love that title. Regina, it is an honor to have you here. You are a legend.
Thank you.
You are a groundbreaker.
Thank you for having me here today.
Thanks for being here. What a life and a legacy you've had. Why was it important to you that Black artists had news coverage controlled by Black voices?
Well, they weren't getting, the recording artists were not getting the recognition they should. In those days, you would put a Caucasian artist on the album cover instead of the Black artist. And we felt it was important that people find out who they were, what they were about, and have some integrity in telling their stories of how and what it took to make their music, to even get it on the radio, let alone get it sold. And we just felt a need. And my husband, Ken, who worked at KTTV at the time, the first Black news anchor man,
unbelievable.
When he saw Watts Burning from, oh God, I don't remember, something on Sunset, he said, we need something for our people. He came up with the name, he came up with the idea, and then I became the implementer because...
There's a picture right there.
Oh my goodness.
The Weekend News with Ken Jones.
Yep.
How incredible is that? You've really interviewed legends, James Brown, Aretha Franklin, pretty incredible you've had these opportunities. When did you realize at one point this magazine is bigger than you could have ever imagined?
I never realized it. You know, far after Soul was over and shortly before Aretha made her transition, she reached out to me on Facebook to be friends. And I wrote back, this isn't Aretha.
Oh.
And she said, yes, it is. And
how did she prove that she was Aretha?
She got mad at me on this Facebook exchange, and she said, call my manager.
Stop.
And I called the manager, and you could tell how disgusted he was that she was on Facebook.
Oh,
and then we started communicating on Facebook.
My goodness.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Great. How unorthodox.
Yeah.
Unorthodox. And I mean, who would think Aretha Franklin would jump up on Facebook?
Right. I can see why you doubted it was her.
You're like, am I being catfished right now?
Totally.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned your family history. Your husband worked, you know, right here for LA's first Black TV anchor, right?
Yes, he was.
What does it mean to have your family history preserved in this documentary?
I'm honored. I didn't set out for this. They reached out to me to be a part of the documentary they were going to do on the Watts riots. And they start working with me, the director, and decided they wanted to do my life story. And I said, okay. So I kind of eased in it. I think I would have frozen, because Ken was the celebrity, the out front person. I was the behind the scenes, pushing the buttons, telling you what to say, what to do, get the gum out your mouth. You know, that was my role. I like bossing people around rather than being bossed around.
I can relate to that. Absolutely. Well, your story is resonating with so many people right now. Why do you think that is?
It's a time that we all need to look at what's gone on in the past and what's going on now. I've seen so many advances we've made in all of our prejudices, and in a very short time, I've seen that unraveling at a speed that is shocking to my heart and to my mind. And I'm willing to do anything that will help us, no matter what. If you get knocked down, if you slip and fall, just keep getting back up. And how many incredible people have lifted me up or stuck a hand out for me to come back when I went from one career to another career to another career. And the fact that I'm still standing, I feel I have an obligation to speak to people about being together, getting to know one another, caring about one another.
Well, your obligation is our gift. So thank you so much, Regina
Honored
Jones.
to meet you.
Yes, and don't miss the TV premiere of Who the Hell is Regina? I could just say it all day long. This Monday, February 16th at 8 p.m.
Can't wait to check it out. Thank you so much for being here. You did fantastic.
You were great.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
It's scary.
No way. You're natural. See?
You really are.
Belong
he has a firearm resting right at the front of his body. Otherwise, he's completely covered for the eyes. Those are the only things that we can see, and maybe a little bit of the mouth. What's interesting, this could be the break that authorities have been looking for and hoping for. We have been hearing all week about how someone disabled the front door camera of this home. Director Patel says this is the individual who they believe disabled that camera. Okay, and so what we heard from authorities very early on is that they were hoping that there would be data behind that camera. From what we were told by Kurt Knudsen, our cyber guy who helps us with this, analyze this stuff, he told me, and he told us when we were talking to him, that this could be what he had referred to as unseen data. What does that mean? That means that when you have these door ring apps, they collect data constantly, and they're trying to figure out what is it that the user wants to see. And what do we want to see? We want to see somebody walking up to our door. We want to see if a pet is outside. We don't want to see the leaves rustling. We don't want to see minor things out there. But the app is sifting through that. But as it's sifting, it's collecting data. So it's not something that you're seeing as a user all the time, but it exists. And the FBI has been digging through mountains of this type of data to try to get to this exact moment. And Director Patel says that they believed it had been lost, corrupted, or inaccessible due to a variety of factors. And through partnership with private corporations, they were able to extract these images. And John, we just hope that this is critical to helping solve this case.
You know, Alicia, as we have these 4 pictures up at the same time here, I just want to identify a couple of things. I mean, clearly you can see the way this person stands on the far left photo with the almost full body image that we see there. Anybody who, you know, we all stand differently. We all walk differently. We have different gaits. Certainly this can tell